Cash Crew, we are back for another week. Man, it's starting to get exciting because there are a lot of storylines. Vlad, how you feel?
I'm good. Welcome back for another week episode. We got conference championship week. So big football games that's going to be played this week. Big matchups. So let's go ahead and dive in.
All right, first topic on the list today. Let's talk about Bills, Chiefs, and the AFC Championship. Ooh-wee. What you think about that game?
So we got, obviously, the two young studs, Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes. Obviously, my pick is going to be Pat Mahomes. I got the Chiefs. But Pat Mahomes is playing, but he's injured. He is injured. This game, I think it's going to be up in the air a little bit, especially the first half. If the Bills come out attacking first, I think the Chiefs will have a little trouble. But the Chiefs are going to have to do a good job. You're going to have to contain Stephon Diggs. You're going to have to contain the running game. And you're going to have to contain Josh Allen. Don't let him fling that football all around because that boy got a cannon.
Facts.
So the Chiefs defense, definitely you're going to have to play hard-nosed football. You're going to have to get to the quarterback early. But if I'm the Chiefs, I will try to keep a running game rather than a throwing game. And if I'm the Bills, same thing. Make it a running game, not a throwing game. Keep the ball out of Pat Mahomes' hands. But if I'm the Chiefs, don't sleep because that Bills defense is no joke either. But I'm taking the Chiefs. I'll say about like 31-28.
I am definitely agreeing with you there. I don't know if you remember back when LA Rams got I'm not good with the coaches' names, but I remember LA Rams got their coach, Buffalo Bills got their coach. And it was this whole big thing about young coaches coming into the league and having an immediate impact because they feel like they're players, coaches, they're innovative, all that. That being said, the Bills are a very well coached team, and they have the pieces. Being that I watch a lot of Dolphins football, they're well coached, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, you can coach up all you want, but if you don't have the talent there, you're going to have letdowns. Example, the last game of the season. They wanted to do well, but they just didn't have the talent to do it, right? So the Bills have the talent. They're well coached, great managing group that owns the team. It's going to be tougher than a lot of people think.
I agree. It's
not going to be easy. The Chiefs, and I don't think the Chiefs are taking them lightly, which makes for a very, very good matchup. So, I'm taking the Chiefs just based upon that they've been here, they've done that, and I think they do have the superior talent I know they have the superior talent at quarterback. Even though he's hurt, I still think they have enough. It's just so many weapons. You have a tight end that's breaking every single record. You have the cheetah. And then don't get me started on defense. So I really think the Chiefs are going to do well, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch for either of the games that's playing tomorrow.
Not at all. But the Chiefs offense better do a great job of protecting Mahomes. I don't think you want him to get knocked down early, especially not in the first half. You got to keep him up. So I think if I'm the Chiefs, run the ball a little bit more than you usually do. Just to protect Pat Mahomes. But I think it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Whoever makes the first turnover in the fourth quarter, that probably will decide the game for me.
Do you have any X factors? For either side, if you have one.
X factor.
Good question.
Tough. Yeah,
I got to put you on the spot.
It's a good question. I'm going to say, because Pat Mahomes is injured, Travis Kelce and I believe Damian Williams is going to start tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But probably more 70-30 more on Damian because he's going to have to start getting that running game going early to keep Pat Mahomes fresh for the second half. For the Bills, I know the Chiefs are going to focus on Stephon Diggs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say the same thing. The running game for the Bills has to be up to par. They're going to have to get that running game going early so, Josh Allen can throw the ball, especially in the second half, because I think, they'll take that away in the second half and force them to throw the ball a little bit more. So I'm going to say, really for both teams, both running games is going to be the X factor. I think whoever has a better running game or wherever, probably rush for over 100 yards, will probably and get some stops. Obviously, we'll win the game.
Nice. Now, we're going from two young quarterbacks playing very well to the old heads. Let's jump into the next one. We've got Bucks. Matchup of the year.
40-plus club. 40-plus club. The 40-40 club.
The geriatric club. We got Bucks. We got Packers. We got Brady. We got Rodgers. I think we talked about this last week, but being able to see, talk about it a little bit more, go over the matchups. Who do you like in this matchup?
Well, even though we say he's the GOAT, but I'm going with my GOAT. I gotta go with Mr. Double Check. I gotta go with Aaron Rodgers. It's funny. I had a coworker that told me, he said his biggest thing that he hates about Aaron Rodgers is nobody can touch him. And I said, that's the beauty about Aaron Rodgers, because nobody can touch him.
Right.
But, we were going back and forth, and I was telling him, I said, to me, Aaron Rodgers is kind of like LeBron. I think they're just so gifted that they have an internal clock. They know where to be at what time, and they literally see things kind of before they happen a little bit. And like I said last week, perfect example, that throw that Aaron Rodgers completed right before the half when Aaron Donald, Mr. probably Defensive Player of the Year, was literally pulling at his jersey, and Aaron Rodgers didn't even flinch, and he just threw it for 34 yards to get the Packers in down the field for a scoring drive. So, when you got a quarterback like that literally he can step in the pocket, move to the right, move to the left, and he can use his legs, even though he's not as old as Brady, but I think Aaron Rodgers was like 36, 37. He's fairly older, but he's still moving around at a very good level. It's going to be scary. I think it's going to be definitely, I don't know, I have a feeling it might be a little bit of a shootout in a way. It's definitely, I think both teams are going to score high 30s. Maybe one team low 40s, like 41. So 41-35, something like that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
But I'm definitely taking the Packers. X factor for the Packers, Aaron Jones.
I agree.
Definitely need to establish that running game early, and the two ends for Green Bay, the two defensive ends, because you definitely have to put pressure on Tom Brady. For the Bucks, this one might be a little shocker. I'm going to say Mr. Antonio Brown.
Okay.
This might be the game for him to reincarnate himself, to remind people at one time he was the best receiver in the game. So I don't know what plays they're gonna have for him, but obviously everybody know Mike Evans is going to be the biggest target. So if they can find some plays, they can maybe get AB in the screen. I know AB came off a little tweak last week. He was a little minor injury, but I think he's gonna play this week. But if they can find AB in the screen or have AB run some curls and get him some chunk yard plays, it could get a little interesting. But JPP on the defense end, because JPP must touch Rodgers. If the Bucks wants to win, the number one thing is you have to touch Rodgers. You don't have to sack him, but you got to touch him. That's the only way you're going to beat the Packers. But I got Packers, I would say 40-35.
Okay, very good, very good. I do agree. I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head. However, I do think. I mean, you did say it's going to be pretty close. So I do agree with that. I don't think Tampa Bay has enough, but Antonio Brown.
They don't have enough.
The Bucks.
Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Gronk.
Yeah.
AB. They don't have enough. What do you want?
Well, I still think the Packers are going to get it done. I honestly still think the Packers can get it done. However, what was I going to say? Antonio Brown, you got to wake up, brother. Where you was at? Last game, 1 catch, 10 yards. Previous game, he had 2 receptions. He balled out the 3 games ago against Atlanta. That's what you're going to need to go against, because it's going to be a shootout. We know that. And if we can get to Tom, we know Tom with pressure is a different player.
Absolutely.
He's inaccurate. He's skittish. He chops his feet. He doesn't get his feet set. He does not play in those positions. You know who can? Discount Double Check.
Yes, sir.
You can hit him. You can push him. You can shove him. He's still getting these balls off, right? So he's gonna throw it. He can throw it under duress. It's the biggest difference. It's interesting to see the two styles of play from these quarterbacks because it couldn't be any more, SAT word, diametrically opposed, right? It couldn't be any more different. But in terms of their efficiency, having that feel for the game, I think that's what you were mentioning earlier. Being able to see the similarities between LeBron and Aaron Rodgers.
Correct.
It's feel. They have a feel for the game, and I don't think that's LeBron has had it, Aaron has had it, but I think being an old head helps them out with that as well. Just being, they've been there, done that. But, the Pack is due. They're due to get to another one, man, because it's been a while. There is some motivation there for Tom to be the first, actually Tampa Bay to be the first team to play in their home stadium for a Super Bowl. But is that enough? They have a lot of weapons, don't get me wrong. But is that enough if Tom Brady can't get the ball out to those guys? They can't throw it to themselves.
I agree. If I'm the Packers, the number one thing I'm going to do from that defense, I'm going to make a call to New York and ask the New York Giants, let me see your 2011 Super Bowl tape.
Okay.
Because NASCAR, which, the Giants called it back then, that's what you're going to need for Brady. Don't need to sack him. Actually, I'll take the 2007. That was more than NASCAR. That was the Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck.
Who?
I don't think JPP was there, but
no, not yet.
That four was There were some Raris on that defensive line, but
big bullies, New York bullies.
Absolutely, but definitely just literally rewatch that tape, and that's the way to get to Brady. But I agree. The Bucs have too many weapons. I can't give them an excuse of they don't have enough. They got enough. Now it's just putting those weapons to use at this point. They have arsenals all over the field. So there's no excuse. But the way Aaron Rodgers playing this year, I think he's on a mission. No, I don't think. He's on a mission. I know that. He wants to win another one. He's definitely trying to prove himself. I think he's trying to make a great campaign for MVP this year, which I could say he deserves it. As much as I like Pat, but Aaron Rodgers deserved it this year, and then definitely has the number one receiver in the league, has Devontae Adams. So it's definitely going to be a great game, definitely a shootout. It's going to slow down in the fourth quarter, but I think Aaron Rodgers is going to take over and show who the real bad man in the league is. And that's Mr. Double Check, Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady.
All right, so that means we've basically given our picks, but just to be clear, your Super Bowl picks, who will make it to the Super Bowl?
So, not next week, 2 weeks from now in Tampa Bay, the Bucs will not be the first team to play in their home field. I'm going to take the young GOAT and Patrick Mahomes, and I'm going to take the current GOAT and Aaron Rodgers. So Packers versus Chiefs.
I am going exactly the same. I'm going Pack versus Chiefs, and it's going to be a wonderful game. I can't wait to see that. But
so you're not going to take Brady? Because, a couple episodes ago, you said Brady is better than Rodgers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we know, like I said, we know, and that is true. I'm not backing off of that statement. But we know Tom's a different guy when he gets touched. And the Pack, they're well equipped to do that.
What if Tom Brady throws for 400 yards?
Does it get you touchdowns? That's all that matters, really.
Okay.
If he throws for 400, that's nice. But we know at this point, Brady's not bombing down the field.
No. He never did.
He's dinking and dunking. He's been doing that for more than 5 years at this point.
His career.
Yeah, that's true. He's never been that guy. And because he doesn't, it's well documented. Not a strength training guy. He uses resistance bands, for goodness sake. So it works well. Whatever he's doing, it works well for him to be a quarterback. But he's not ripping it down the field. That's Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes type deal. I honestly believe if he does make it to the Super Bowl, this is his last year. I believe that.
I agree.
but that's neither here nor there. He might go another if they lose. He might go another year, but I think it's tough at this point. I really think this was kind of that revenge season for him to prove to people. Because you think sometimes that athletes don't hear things. They're human just like us. They read it. They just don't. They choose not to respond, and because it just you're on a different level. So he's heard that he's nothing without Belichick, that he's a system quarterback, that, it's always them two together. He can't do it without him. So he's trying to prove that he can, and he's got a damn good point so far. But I honestly, if the things go the same way as they have been, I think the Packers are playing their best ball at the right time. And so are the Bucs. But the Packers are hot, and that's what you want to be going into a matchup like this. In the playoffs, you want to be playing your best ball, and they arguably have been playing their best ball. Them and the Bills, they have been the hottest team going through the playoffs so far. So I'm still sticking with the Pack, though.
I agree. Definitely in the NFL. Well, really any sport, but definitely in the NFL, it's really not... It's not always the best team. It's the hottest team that's playing right now that wins usually. That's why you have, some really unorthodox years, like when my Philadelphia Eagles beat the Patriots. But
shout out to Schmidt.
Right? But I mean, you're right. The Packers are playing great football. Not great, excellent football at the right time.
Yes.
And Rodgers has not been touched this whole playoffs. He
clean
has not,
jersey.
Clean, and he's flinging it. Off the charts numbers, but I'm definitely looking forward. I think that's game of the week, this week for sure. And I hate to say it, but whoever wins that game might win it all. Just saying. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
So we got some breaking news. There is an upset man. But his name's not James Harden. In Houston right now.
What is going on with Houston, man?
I thought you guys like it. No income tax.
Right.
Cheap real estate.
Gentlemen clubs.
Great adult, late night entertainment.
Right.
Pretty good food, too.
But lately it seems that
the sports side of Houston just can't get it together.
Yeah.
Houston's probably one of the worst teams in the NBA right now in the West. Texans are falling apart left and right, and their quarterback just said, hey, I know I have a no-trade clause in my contract, but get me out of here. What's going on?
Right. So Deshaun Watson lately has been very vocal, and for those of us that are local and we've seen him play in Gainesville and followed him to Clemson, this is not his MO. So if Deshaun Watson is speaking up, he really is tired. He's tired. So to see the way that he's going out, now we're hearing rumors about where he could possibly go. At first, it was Dolphins because Dolphins fans are insufferable. They think Tua should be traded already. Trade Tua and a second round pick, and we'll get Deshaun Watson. No, don't go and get those two studs from Alabama. Don't actually give him people that don't work at a grocery store if they get cut. No, don't do that. Let's just go and get Deshaun Watson. Why? Oh, well, he's good now. He's great. No, not good. He's elite. He's elite. Deshaun Watson is elite right now.
Yeah.
And so, no, let's not build with Tua, who could very possibly be elite as well if he has the tools. No, let's not do that, right? So it was Miami, and then Miami went and hired an offensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken, that was connected to Tua in some way. I didn't really look into it, but I know he's connected to Tua in some way, and so that automatically says, okay, now they're going to build around Tua. They've stamped in the ground. They've drawn the line in the sand. So now we've got Deshaun Watson's team starting to send messaging out. The latest that we hear is that Deshaun Watson prefers the New York Jets. I do not know why, but he prefers the New York Jets. What?
Never in my life would I ever thought I'll see the day when somebody advocately, purposely
right
wants to go play for the Jets.
Ridiculous.
And you weren't drafted there.
But we talked about this kind of a little bit offline. But tell me what you were saying about Deshaun Watson. Why you think it really is maybe true, some truth to that.
So I have a conspiracy stipulation that there's something to this. I don't think Deshaun Watson, being 25 years old, is willing to just mortgage his career by going and play for the Jets. I mean, the Jets have not been relevant in a decade plus, probably. Who knows? Do they even have a Super Bowl win? I don't even think so. Nobody really reps the Jets. I mean, for goodness sake, even New Yorkers rep the Giants and they play in Jersey. But I have a stipulation that he might know something nobody knows or very few people know. They might have a package deal to send some weapons to the Jets. I mean, yes, they get rid of Le'Veon Bell. They don't have no receivers out there, but they do have the number 1 pick.
Just quickly, because I already know, I said it with my chest. I said Deshaun Watson is elite. Just for those of you who do not believe me, 70% completion percentage, 4,823 yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions. Elite. I don't want to hear it. So
numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. And this is without who?
D-Hop.
Okay. He made, what was the dude's name? Fuller, was it?
Kyle Fuller.
No, not Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller's for the Bears.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, Kyle Fuller is for the Bears.
Fuller something, but he's got a lot of I don't knows on that wide receiver core, and still made it work. So it is, when you think about a team like Miami, I'm thinking to myself, why not take a shot at him? But you got Tua. You think Tua will be able to do well when they take the freaking training wheels off and allow him to actually throw down the field, and actually get him some NFL wide receivers. So, but the Chicago Bears, we talked about that before. That would be a lovely place because they haven't had good quarterback play in a long time. So that would be a nice place. I just don't think they have the assets to acquire him.
They don't. So Deshaun, again, because I really do like him. I'll be honest. He's one of my favorite younger quarterbacks coming in the league. I hope you have a plan because Jets is just, Jesus Christ. I did not see that coming. I would not wish going to the Jets on nobody's career. But hey, maybe this could be the turnaround. I mean, nobody saw Tom Brady go to the Bucs, right?
What about the Colts?
Carson Wentz, that's for you. That's your new home, buddy.
Well, they did just hire a guy from the Colts who supposedly is Frank Reich. Like we talked about this before, but Frank Reich was back when Carson Wentz was good. When he was actually a quarterback before he became a trash can, that with red hair, a trash can with red hair. I got it. I got enough. I've had enough of this. And
Phillip Rivers retired.
Okay, so they hired their guy, someone who was up under Frank Reich. A good, nice reunion. Supposedly, this is supposed to be their recommitment to Carson Wentz. And maybe we have a quarterback controversy. Well, not controversy, but a competition. Just open it up. Carson Wentz wins. I could see that happening because think of it this way. I think we had this conversation back in our first episode. The underdog thing that we were talking about. Carson Wentz expects to be the starter. Jalen Hurts is happy to be there and wants more, but he is just a rookie. And so if they were to open up the quarterback competition and you've got a rejuvenated Carson Wentz.
I'm still taking Jalen.
I would too. Personally, I would too, because there's no point. If you know he's the future, you see that he has played well, there's no point in going back to Carson. Trade him, get some assets, get a backup quarterback for Jalen Hurts.
And draft Devontae Smith in the draft.
Well, they don't have the draft pick for that, but
we're number 6.
Yeah, Devontae Smith is not. How many times I gotta tell you that, bro? He is going top 3. What you got going on, bro? He is not. He's not falling to number 6. There's no way in hell he's falling to number 6.
There's a miracle some way, somehow.
That would be a lot of GMs. Getting fired.
All I'm saying, Lamar Jackson got drafted 30th.
Yeah, but that's Lamar Jackson. We're not talking about we're not talking about that. Look, Lamar Jackson plays quarterback and he's black, so of course he was gonna go low. I mean, it's just the NFL, and the NFL is a different beast when it comes to that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I have a lot of thoughts on that, but we'll just leave it at that. You got any other thoughts to add on it?
No, that's all I have. I mean, we'll see how this plans out when the season's over in 2 weeks, and when it's off season, and maybe this might be breaking news in a month or so. So definitely looking forward to how Deshaun plays out, this off season wherever he goes. But I think it might shift the league a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Last topic. Let's talk about some things that are happening outside of the league. I mean, it's still with the league, but little things that's going on with COVID. So many things have been canceled. We know now that we are not going to have a combine this year, and so other games become so important. So those all-star games that happen around the league are so important. One that has been at the top of the list for years and years is the Senior Bowl. You go back and look at the many names that are in the NFL right now. Many of them played in the Senior Bowl, and so that is much of the same this year. Senior Bowl is going to be coached this year by the Dolphins. And what's the other team? Is it the Browns?
I'm not sure about.
Let me look that up. But the Dolphins are going to be coaching, and guess who's on their team?
Najee
Harris and
Devontae
Smith. So this
Cheaters.
this is not a hey, we want to see how good they are. This is OTAs.
Hold on. Is there no tampering in the NFL?
Oh no, there's plenty tampering when the Senior Bowl. Oh, okay. Senior Bowl is allowed because you're coaching the team. So
I'm just gonna call it out. So Miami is tampering. All right, cool.
No, it's not tampering. The league works differently in the NBA because the NBA doesn't have something like that. So this is not tampering. This is not them telling them. This is really getting a chance to evaluate.
Miami is basically like, all right, bro, show me what you got. I already know what you can do. All right, you ready to get drafted? Yes or no? Cool. All right, let's go.
Well, hey, I mean, they're there now. So all the players have arrived. They stay there for 2 weeks. So the first week they do media. I remember going through all of this last year. It was really fun to see the kids start to learn what it is to be a pro. And so they do all the media and they start getting grilled basically by the teams. And I do pull it up. It is going to be Dolphins and the Panthers. Dolphins and the Panthers. So,
hopefully
yes.
Hopefully the Panthers can scout a quarterback for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, they're going to need one. Iron Book is going to be there.
Yeah. I don't like it.
He's going to be there, though.
I don't like it.
But because, again, this is Senior Bowl. So, it's kind of the thing that catch-22. They're not, all the seniors there are not going to be the best players that are coming out.
True.
And we don't know how many players are going to be coming out yet. So it's just a jump on, these teams get a jump on all the others to be able to evaluate. It's kind of one of those things where even the playing field where some of the worst teams. Now, at this time, though, I don't see how they do it because I thought it was the worst teams, but the Dolphins is in there. So would they pay money under the table to get that spot?
I told you it's tampering.
I don't get how the Dolphins got that spot.
They're doing very, very early scouting for next year. Next football year season, but
they're evaluating good talent. Hey, if you come away from there, you want to be able to put your eyes on pick and prod to see how good these guys really are. That is something. Maybe someone will hit us up in the comments or send us a text message and let us know, how did the Dolphins get picked? Because we know the Panthers didn't win a lot of games, but how did the Dolphins, who narrowly missed
tampering?
How did they narrowly?
I'm calling Roger Goodell.
Okay, all right. So that's pretty much it that we have for this episode. You got anything you want to wrap up and any lingering thoughts?
No, that's it. Make sure you guys continue to stay tuned. Let us know what your thoughts. And also, next week, We got a great episode for you guys next week. We will be talking about
Let's go
the super duper duper Big 3 in Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of things to cover on that episode, so definitely make sure your notifications are turned on, because that episode, there's going to be a lot of insider, there's going to be a lot of opinions, there's going to be a lot of just dialogue and conversation about what's going on in Brooklyn, how does Harden fit in Brooklyn, how far Brooklyn is going to go, what's going to happen, and more. And we're just going to go do a really deep dive into that Harden trade. So make sure you tuned in, not only this week, but definitely next week for the
Superbowl episode.
No, for the Harden episode. Super Bowl's in 2 weeks.
Right. Of course. So, man, so many things. I'm excited. I'm ready for it to go. All right, so that's pretty much all we got for you guys today. One last thing, make sure that you are sending your comments in. We love to hear from you. And because we're talking about this Harden episode beforehand, you can send in questions. You can send in even things that you would love to hear us talk about when it comes to that. So we would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And definitely don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And definitely leave your comments on the episode of what you think, what you don't like, or your personal opinion about the topic. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
All right, Cash Crew, until next time.